Yo, good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Morning Market Report. It is Monday, January 26th, and I'm just off the coast of Cuba, but we're here, and we're live. And BC Port Corp is running the stream from home base back in the States. Are you staying warm up there, BC? How's the weather, man?
No, I am not staying warm. It is 1 degree where I'm at right now, so I'm a little bit jealous. I keep telling you to send us the warm weather up here, but
I'm trying. I'm
not
trying.
working.
Well, you also asked me to send you some Cuban cigars from down here, and so I can't deliver what you're asking for across the front.
It's so one or the other. Warm weather or Cuban cigars? You choose.
I'll go with the warm weather. Then I can just blame it on, hey, I don't control Mother Nature. The other one, I'm not trying to deal with Border Patrol. I don't want to mess with federal agents. Imagine that. But shout out to everybody that's watching right now. Appreciate everybody that's in here. Shout out to the OGs. It is OG Monday, and the Otter Gang just joined us here. So shout out to the gang. Shout out to all the alumni. I appreciate you guys being here. We got a big week ahead of us this week, guys. So we're gonna break it all down for you. But OC, how you doing today, man?
Oh, I'm doing fantastic. Ready to rock and roll. Great morning. Not that sick anymore. And with a hot coffee. So the best part is when you really feel the worst and then you feel a little bit better. That feels like magic. Like when you start getting your health back, it's oh brother. Fantastic. Other than that, that show that we kept and that we made together on what was it, Friday?
hmm
And we held throughout the weekend. Well, now it's on games.
Well, that's a good thing. I'm watching the charts right now. If you want to go ahead and bring it up, let's give a breakdown on Bitcoin. Then we'll get into the news side. But right now, Bitcoin, guys, we were watching this. That's not. There we go. We got a screen. We were watching this level here, $90,000 level last week. We talked about it. We did get one breakout here, and I said we needed to get two candle closes above the $90,000 range, and that would give us indication that we might get some upside movement. If we stayed below it and rejected, then we would likely head down. We did get one wick there. Not like the wicks, two dub. Shout out to the wicks, but we did get one wick here off a candle. Came cleanly onto the quantum reactor and then rejected down. From there, that was pretty much all she wrote for it. Little liquidity sweep there, grabbed that liquidity from this previous range over here from last Wednesday, and then down it went. We do have a new bearish VWAP bottom here for support that I will be watching. But mainly, all we did was come up and close out a majority of this fair value gap on this candle. Now that it has gotten that data, gotten that fair value gap closed, we had a little retest range here at about 87,800, and now it does appear to be coming back up. That $90,000 range is still going to be the area of support that I think that we need to break through to get that upside move. Although we have gotten the oversold, the uptrend, and now are in a transition oscillator to the upside. That's that peach color there. Typically we go transition to peach, and then we get into that bullish run up on the oscillator ribbon. Right now, though, guys, money flow is still in the red. Volume is still low. I do think that there's a chance that we come up here, reject around the zero line on the oscillator, which might put us right in that $90,000 range. We'll take a look at the gamma and delta for the options later. That's where this $90,000 range came from last week, and we'll see if there's any updates on that for levels. But yeah, as of right now, that's what I'm watching on Bitcoin. OC or BC, either OC or BC, either one of OCBC. It's like a rock group from the '80s. Welcome to 2026. Either one of you guys have any takes on what you're seeing on your chart? Go ahead and pull it up, and we'll take a look at that, and then we'll get into the news.
OC, you can go first.
Let's go. Let's get it. All right, yeah, absolutely. So this is what we're seeing right now on the charts. Something important, and guys, I know I'm always saying this. We are in a huge effing range. All right, so I keep saying the same thing, but we also keep seeing me in trading. Right, so right now we're at the bottom of the range. We long bottoms. I'm looking for a possible long. Not quite there yet. Because remember the Wyckoff scenario. Let me bring it up really quickly. So let me do where is it? Wyckoff. Here it is. Mm, oh, come on. 1 second. Oh man, here it is. All right. I believe no. Well, whatever. I couldn't find it like right away, but here it is. Here it is. Oh my god. All right, so this is what I wanted to show you really quickly. Remember that on a wide cup range, we get the spring, right? So, right before, throughout the past week, we thought, or I thought that we were breaking to the SOS, but remember, we short the thing. Why? Because we short tops, right? And we couldn't say that we have broken the range even or after or before we have a breakout retest and continuation. So basically a break of structure continuation trade. So very important. That's why we shorted top, right? And then coming back down to the inner most lower part, we took profits on the bounce back up. We took another short and we got another range down there. Let's go and check that out, right? So here it is. This is exactly what we've been trading. Basically, the top of the range. Basically, I was expecting to bounce this off to the upside. We didn't. That's fantastic because we open up that short, right? We keep that short coming back down. And then as we're getting closer to the bottom of the range, we take some profit. On those profits, I reopen up an position right down here and then set another half a position up in here. So when we bounce back up, we average back up at this at 89. What is it exactly? 89,500 ish, and then bounce back down. So basically, this is still yesterday, 9%. We're moving right now with cautious because the more that we get to the hot dog bond, right? Remember, we need to be careful because of the inversing trade setup, right? So basically, this is what we got right now. We're bouncing back up, looking down into this one. And of course, we're looking into a possible, what was it, transition. So be careful with that transition. We might get a little shaky in there. All right, so let's get that joke out of the way. And really quickly, this part right here, and look at the line that I have set, right? This is not a new line. We took some profits very close to that line. So that line there is the almost absolute bottom where we're going to be looking for if we get it, the spring. So I'm going to be looking for a very strong movement to the downside if we get it and trying to long it from this area. If we don't get it, I'm going to be waiting for the breakout retest and my longing position is going to be right in here. So that's basically all that I got. I mean, we're in a huge range, and until we are in that range, we are going to be trading it as a range. No questions asked on my end. So other than that, turn it back to you guys.
Awesome. You seeing anything different right now, or should we go ahead and go head into the news, BC?
I did have an area to kind of look at above. So if we do end up breaking about 89,500, we've
Yep,
got a
that's
lot of sell pressure above that, and then a little bit of this daily fair value gap is still open here. So midline is coming in as some resistance. So that's about 91,200. That'd be that next real area to kind of keep your eye on. If we can break above the 89,500 for another little sell wall to potentially bump up against. But if we can get a little extra buying pressure coming on in here with how bottom we're starting to look, you've got that top side coming in at pretty much $92,000 on the dot. So that's that next
yeah. I
real
want to
area.
go over the gamma, and deltas, and that's pretty much in line. But just keep in mind, guys, we're not talking about the bottoms in and this is it. We're going back up. Like I still think that we see lower numbers coming in, and I think that we're still in a crypto bear market right now, even though some other stuff is pumping up. Give a shout out here to Crypto Blood. Saw him in the chat here. I'm going to set up the redirect over for Crypto Blood today. So shout out to Crypto Blood. Also shout out to Two Dub. She said Piper did not abandon us. No, we didn't abandon. I didn't abandon you guys. I'm here, Wix Wife Fine 89. Appreciate you. Alexander G, the mod queen, in here with us. JR, our in-house trader over there in our Discord. Infinite Team TA. I also saw Crypto Coin Mindset in here. Mark Dutch. Appreciate him dropping links and stuff over in Alex O's show. I saw Alex O too. He said, I'm on a boat. That is a true statement. I'm on a boat. Got my flippy floppies. But shout out to Harp in here. I saw CJ Taylor earlier. earlier and a whole lot more. Robert Mulligan, Brumblebee, the Bumblebee's in here with us. So appreciate all you guys joining us here. Let's go ahead though, and let's go talk about. Let's go over the news and get into all that. I'll talk about the options first. So if you bring my screen up here, there we go. Looking at the delta, and right now we're looking at a top side on this of $89,000 and the low side $88,000, meaning that's where majority of the options traders, whether they're calls or puts, are going to be making their money. So staying between 88,000 and 89,000 is going to be the range that we need to watch. Top side on this again, $89,000. Once it breaks above that level, it's going to need to get a couple of candles closing above it on like an hour time frame plus, and then that will give us indication. Okay, the bears are getting exhausted here. The bulls are absorbing all of their selling pressure. Now we're probably going to head up. The Vega sitting on that being $89,000. That's your
I
pivot point.
lost your screen share.
You lost it.
Yeah,
Well, let's bring
it
it back
dropped.
up here. Let's bring it back like we left something. It said you've encountered an error. Reload.
Hmm. Yep, it dropped it again.
It's coming back in. It's coming back in. It's coming back in. I got you. And then we'll put it on the entire screen. Yeah. Hey, I'm on Starlink. I feel like OC right now. You should have my screen now there. Now you should have my screen.
There we go.
All right. And you can see all this. You're good.
Yes, sir.
All right, so on the total crypto market cap right now, guys, looking at into the Cryptoverse metrics, we are sitting at a $2.997 trillion crypto market cap. The trend line on this fair median value of all crypto is 4.756 trillion, currently undervalued about 37% to the downside right now. Looking at the crypto risk bands for Bitcoin, we're at 40.5. I did drop all of the DCA levels into the Discord this morning, so all the DCA levels for wristbands on Solana, XRP, Ethereum, and Bitcoin all dropped in there. So if you guys are following the Piper plan, those are up to date. Also looking at Bitcoin dominance right now with stablecoins, we're at 59.03%. Without stablecoins, we're at 65.47%. When you take those stables away, Bitcoin dominance continuing to hold in that 65% level. Looking at fear and greed index today, guys, we're still in extreme fear. Oh my, at 20, spending most of our time down here in the fear levels. Let's talk about what's going on this week. Shout out to Kyle Dupes on X. Fed decision and oppressor on Wednesday. That's the FOMC. Okay. Then you're going to get Jerome Powell talking, hard telling what he's going to say. He's got a lot of stuff going on right now. We've also got earnings on the same day on Wednesday. Microsoft, Meta, and Tesla all have earnings this week. Apple's earnings on Thursday. So a lot of the Mag 7 coming out with earnings this week, going to create a lot of volatility in the market, guys. Jobless claims are coming out on Thursday for the weekly unemployment claims. And then on Friday, shout out to Alex O, going to get some PP in your eye for December. And then government shutdown. Guys, remember when I was talking in November about, hey, we got a government shutdown right now going on. And even if they approve the funding, it only carries us to January. Well, there you go. Government shutdown deadline on Friday, guys. They're having an issue. I do have an article on it of what the holdup is on this funding, but we'll talk about that in a minute. Most of the reactions probably come on the back half once all this starts hitting together, though. Wednesday and on is when I think we're going to have the big volatility. Looking at Kabisi letter this morning, silver hit a record high, $110 per ounce, now up 54% this month alone. This puts silver 280% above where it was at in January 2025. Glad it's holding up. I'm selling it when I get home. So breaking spot platinum, also hitting a new all-time high, as the thumbnail said today, hitting $2,918 per ounce, up over 5%. And of course, gold's over 5K. But what about copper? We talked about copper, about the shortage of 1.1 million metric tons by 2030. Guys, the world economy is projected to face a copper deficit of 10 million tons by 2040, equivalent to 33% of the current global demand. This comes as global copper demand is estimated to surge to 42 million tons by 2040 from 28 million tons in 2025. So we're looking at a shortage as demand is rising. All the AI data center copper. That's why we had that stock list on our Discord in the stock watch list that is giving you, hey, this is the copper companies that you need to look at, power companies, chip companies. All of that list is in there, and we have a big section in there on just critical materials and copper. So AI data center copper demand is set to surge by 127% to 2.5 million tons by 2040. Meanwhile, supply is expected to peak at only 34 million tons in 2030. So we're looking at a big copper shortage. Copper might be one of those ones we also need to watch. Last week, Canada was talking about doing a deal with China for a trade agreement. Trump came out and said, if you do it, I'm putting 100% tariffs on everything out of Canada. Hashtag maple syrup, sad day. Canada's Prime Minister Carney now saying he does not plan to sign a free trade agreement with China after President Trump threatened 100% tariffs. It's amazing how those tariffs work that way. Everyone wants to talk about our tariffs, but at the end of the day, we are the largest consumer on the planet, and nobody wants to see their profits and their GDP decrease because people don't want to buy maple syrup anymore from Canada. Breaking: Senate Democrats threaten to shut down the U.S. government if DHS and ICE funding is not included. This is that article that we're going to go cover. By the way, 75% chance right now that we get a government shutdown according to Polymarket. So let's go check a look at that article real fast so that we can lay that out. Where are you? Where are you? Right there. Government shutdown odds grow as Senate Republicans won't remove the DHS funding after Preddy was unalived. U.S. government heading for a partial shutdown as Senate Democrats vow to oppose a funding package that includes appropriations for the Department of Homeland Security. Guys, Department of Homeland Security is a whole lot more than just ICE. They have a pretty important job. I worked with DHS when I was at Joint Task Force North, and trust me, it's way, way beyond just ICE. So this funding is not going to get cut out. It's just not going to. It's needed across the board for a lot of things. So that is the holdup that is keeping the funding from happening. We'll have to wait and see what happens with that this week, guys. Again, Friday is the cutoff date for that. Looking at the TradFi stock market right now, Dow Jones currently up about 0.3%. S&P is up about 0.5%, along with the Nasdaq sitting there at the same place, and the Russell 2K small caps up about 0.25% today. Volatility index is sitting at 16. Underneath that 17 is slowing down a little bit, meaning the volatility today might be easing up just a little. I think Wednesday is when we start to see it all come back into play. Let's take a look at the 10-year bond yield right now, sitting at 4.2, dropping a little bit, meaning people are buying the 10-year yield right now. Not sure who that is. Someone called their financial advisor asking what the hell's wrong with them. Looking at oil right now, we're at $60 a barrel, meaning that oil is in profit, but you can still buy a lot of oil. You can almost buy 2 barrels of oil with a single ounce of silver. Keep that in mind. Craziness. And then natural gas rocketing, guys, up almost 20% again today as the natural gas demand is being increased all across the country, getting hit by that horrible, horrible weather phenomenon going on. Everybody getting buried in snow. Natural gas companies taking advantage of that pricing on it. Looking at the precious metals, gold still sitting above $5,000, up 2.17% today. Silver is at $112. Holy balls in the chat, guys. $112 for silver right now. Copper up about at 1% today. Not like the 10% or the 2%, but still to the upside at $6 per ounce. Platinum right now up 4.42% today, and palladium up 7.42% at $2,178. Let's go take a look at the crypto bubbles. Bitcoin right now down about 0.3% on the daily, trying to make a rally here in the past hour. Ethereum's down 0.4. BNB's up 0.5%, or down 0.5%, I should say. XRP up 1.8%. It's green today. And then Solana down 1.6%, rounding out the top 5 minus the stable coins. Let's go see for other big movers we have here today. Zcash is up 1% today. That's about it. World Liberty Financial, sorry, Mr. Trump and family, down 8.1% today. Let's go see the economic calendar. We did have some data come in on this, guys. Let me bring that over here. There we go. So this is the durable goods orders month over month. It did get a revision. Was previously at let's see here. Give me that revision. What were you? 2.2. They dropped it to negative 2.1. It was at negative 2.2. So slightly better than what it was on the with the revision. Consensus was that it would be about 3.7, positive 1.1. They were thinking, mild increase or maybe a decrease. Came in really good. Durable goods orders at 5.3% upside move there. But the Federal National Chicago Fed National Activity Index for October and November came in. They were both down. Index for November down slightly, October down quite a bit. Durable goods orders, excluding transportation, though, was on a revision here. Previously at point 0.2, came in at point 0.1. I thought this was going to be higher. Did come in higher, meeting that forecast at 0.5%. So overall, big picture, it was headline bullish, but structurally mixed. Top line durable goods numbers look strong, but much of the strength is concentrated in volatile categories, meaning we could see it flip really easily in those categories because they likely will, either show weakness or strength based on the volatility that's coming with it. It is soft but stabilizing, and it's the kind of data that confuses markets short term and keeps the Fed cautious. So we could see some shakeout here as the markets start to wonder: is what does it mean? Does it mean this or does it mean that? Should I buy or should I sell or should I wait? And that may add to the volatility again that I think we start to see on Wednesday. Looking at the chance of a rate cut this Wednesday, guys, because we got FOMC this week. That's going to be a 97.2% chance that we do not get a rate cut this week. And I think that's going to be status quo. I think we're going to see very likely no change in the rate cuts at all. Silver here, we just talked about that, broke another record. What's driving the precious metals new price surge? Well, we already talked about it. There's 300 to 400 times more paper contracts than there is physical silver out there, and everybody wants physical silver. That's called demand, and demand creates a price squeeze. And then lastly, guys, going back to our AI data center plays for stock watch list that's in our Discord, memory chip shortage to last through 2027, according to the semiconductor boss. Memory chips are a key component to the AI data centers, obviously, and the CEO of semiconductor industry, a top semiconductor industry CEO told CNBC, adding to the view that the crunch that's been caused by the AI infrastructure boom may last longer than expected. So that's what I got there on that today, guys. Go ahead and bring it back to the three of us. But yeah, I just wanted to give the breakdown on that, talk about what we were looking at. Actually, leave it up for 1 second, if you will. There is one chart I want to show before I hand it over to you guys. But it is that this sell off that we got there, and whoever's AC is kicking, holy balls, man, is that loud in my ear. Somebody's got some serious AC blowing. I got white noise. But yeah, the thing that I'm watching here on the chart is going to be the 100-week exponential moving average. That was it. Whoever just did that, that was the sound I was talking about. We are on the 100-week moving average. This is where all of our support has been. We may have wicked below it, but all candle closes have been above this. We just touched it again, guys. So the 100-week exponential moving average still holding us up there and holding us afloat. That level's coming in at 86,410. If we lose that, guys, probably heading much, much lower. Look at $70,000 at that point. I do need to readjust our box up here. So if you got these on your charts, it's now going to be a bottom side on this, 96,500. And our top side on this is now $100,982. This is the box that we've been talking about for a long time. It's our rejection range, and that is where we rejected off beautifully back here a couple of weeks ago. Guys, update your box. There's this thing. You can come back and screenshot it. 96.5 bottom side, $100,982 top side. That would be your 52-week simple moving average. That's what I got for you guys today.
Let me
Sweet.
get your screen share moved up. There we go.
That's the news. That's all the news is fit to be
Well,
news, man. BC, what do you got, bro?
well, I did have an article that I did kind of want to talk about. So let me get it actually back to that one. And then let me add my screen up there because this one was not talked about last week. And this was wrapping up at the end of last week and got finalized over the weekend. And we heard a lot about it at the beginning of the year, but now it's actually official. So the sale of TikTok, the American sale of TikTok to an American company is now finalized. And it's kind of interesting who got the deal here. So ByteDance, the parent company of TikTok, announced Thursday that the sale of the U.S. investors has been finalized. And the big winner of that is the American investment group Oracle. The software they're led by the software company Oracle, which will store U.S. data locally. Oracle CEO Larry Ellison, a prominent Trump supporter, which is no surprise there, as that was the big push on the whole TikTok front. But the thing that hasn't really been talked about on this is they are getting the proprietary algorithm that TikTok has made. They get full usage of it. They are allowed to use that algorithm how they want to outside of TikTok. So I do expect to see some things coming out of Oracle here soon. So keep your eye on that one. That's pretty much all I had for the news there. You got anything
Awesome.
you
Yeah, OC, we had a request for you to bring up copper, do some copper look. Can you go ahead and pull that chart up and let's get in on that?
Absolutely. Got it right here, ready to go. All right, so this is copper. Let's go back really quickly to take a look at really quickly gold. This is where we left out gold. Really, let me remind you the kamikaze trade played out very nicely, and this is important because compared to silver, it's moving almost the same way. Remember that I was expecting a little bit of a retracement, did not happen. It pushed, and seeing copper also pushing this talks about a parity across markets. This brings much more interest to me into what's happening in copper because now copper is following along. So at this moment, let me take a look at this area right there. We have a range in this zone. So other than that, we have bounced at the bottom here, going at the top. So do not at this point we have a goose head. Do not trust too much on copper at this one until I would say breakout retest. So far we short tops, we buy bottoms, but really quickly, and that's what I wanted to bring up: silver and gold. Let's take a look at gold first before you end up with, because we talked about this don't buy in tops last class, right? Let's take a look at Bitcoin. I mean, not Bitcoin, gold. And remember that we are allowed to buy the top as long as we have a breakout structure. Even if we have a breaker structure, especially if we have a breaker structure, you need to use a stop loss, because buying the breaker structure, despite looks fantastic on paper, right? Sometimes it could lead you to buy the very top. All right. So fair warning. And I'm bringing this up because the last two breakout structure that we have bought, they've been playing out very good. So I don't want you guys to miss the eye on the warnings, on the dangers of buying a breakout structure. So far we are not at the top of that range. Let me bring up, and this is gonna be a little bit messy, so bear with me. I'm just gonna be bringing everything up at the same time. Let's wait for TradingView to plot it up. Perfect. And the very first thing that we see is that huge order block at the bottom, right? We have a gap smart money entry right here, and finally another resistance at the top. So as you can see, let me start cleaning this up. Let me just get rid of this swing range, right? And showing you also that it has the money flow POC there, the beginning of that other order block right here. We have another order block in here, a soft order block, dynamic reactor, quantum reactor, and then a lot of other stuff right in here. So as we start removing things, we're gonna get a cleaner in picture of where things are. And as you can follow along, I'm just marking with my pen when everything is up at, right? So we have a clear picture of where's the main concentration. So here it is. Look at the huge support that we have in here, and the next huge support that we have there, and then here. So I would say the answer is clear, right? Are we gonna be breaking out? Who knows? But if we bounce back down, this is gonna be our next entry, and we have a big resistance to bounce from right up here. So this is a no trading zone. This is a no trading zone. Let me mark it once again with a little box. Right here, let's use an actual box. So this is a no trading zone other than creating a short at the top. So what I'm trying to tell you, this is not a buying zone. All right. So let's mark it. So let's make it dead clear. So not buying zone. And that zone, of course, is going to die out right very, very close because there it is. We want to buy right after the breakout and retest. This would be a buying zone, but remember, it's not because of the zone, it's because we have taken the zone and then we're coming back to retest it. So far, long story short, we're looking for a short at this point, but be extremely careful because we've been seeing gold and silver pushing through those resistance zones. And it seems like copper is going to try to do the same, especially because we have a goose head. A goose head means, oh, farther move to the upside. Oh, come on, where is my copper? Farther move to the upside and then bigger retracement. So be careful with that. How far can we be going? We could be
Hey,
going as far
OC,
as
can you turn
6.2.
your volume up a little bit? Somebody said your volume's really low.
Is this better? Test, test,
A
test.
little bit more.
A little bit more. Like this. I'm clipping already, but let me know. Test,
Okay.
test, test.
All right.
Yeah.
There you go. I
Let
think
me
that
try
might
to
be
fix
better.
this.
Yeah, someone said they refreshed. It was still low volume, but yeah. Uh,
Oh,
you were a
I see
lot
why.
lower than what BC was. Yep. There you go. Perfect.
Test, test, test. All right, perfect. Yeah, it auto don't turn down my volume on the main system.
Yeah, you
I
can
got
turn
it.
your volume back down a little bit now. Now you're loud.
How about now? Better? Much better?
That's much better. Perfect. Go for it. Continue forward, good sir.
Let's go. Let's get it. All right. So, long story short, areas of shorting, but be extremely careful with shorting at the top of the range because we've seen gold and silver pushing through and in certain markets, along with what we've been talking about now, AI investment now going through. I want to touch on something that Piper mentioned. And if we can bring up the three cam, I think this will be fantastic because I want to open up the conversation here. Uh, Piper was mentioning we are on a possible shortage
You're still
of
a bit
copper,
loud.
right?
Bring it down a little bit more. Rick,
Is
he
this
said
better?
you're a
Much
bit.
better?
Yeah, there you go. Perfect. Right there. I think that's good.
Perfect. All right, perfect. Yeah, I can see I'm not clipping anymore. Perfect. Let's
Yeah,
get it.
they said OC is
So,
yelling at us.
let's
OC, stop
go.
yelling at people, man. If you're going to yell at something, can you yell at the people that keep selling off our crypto? There you go. What do
Absolutely.
you got for us, though? You said Piper mentioned something. Please go forward.
Right before I made your ears bleed, right? So Piper mentioned that we could be into a shortage of copper, and I brought this up a couple of classes before. When we're talking about metals, who owns the land and who is in charge of probe that land, right? Then, based on that probing, they can extend speculation on how much copper they're gonna be able to mine out. But maybe, just maybe, they didn't because they didn't notice, right? A huge, big loaded part of copper land and then just didn't probe it. So, will that count as manipulation? Do you think we have that kind of manipulation because they can control how much supply there's going to be while not touching that part of the land? And if they need it, they can then absolutely have loads of copper to push out. I don't know. Seems like a thing for high
it,
theory, which
it's a
is
big
by the way.
environmental. So I lived in Arizona for a long time, copper mining central over there in Arizona at Old Bisbee and stuff like that. So a lot of it are the mines have plenty of copper still, but it's the environmental impact that slows them down, and then it's a lot of paperwork and red tape. So uh, don't think that if things get to a level that they're like, look, we don't have any more for power, we don't have any more for all these things that technology and demand is pushing on us, that they won't go and start drilling that up. Another interesting fact: a lot of silver veins are discovered looking for copper. So keep that in mind too. The little tidbit of knowledge there for you. There you go. But yeah, I think that raw materials are always going to be. Yep, there you go. DDC just said it. Raw materials will always be privy to supply manipulation. Absolutely. So I
Well,
think
like
that's the case with most things in the commodity world. So
the big problem with it is they haven't wanted to overproduce because you want it at a point where it is continuously profitable to mine. And you do have that big thing with environment. So copper mining, for anyone that hasn't looked at it, it is a very ugly process. And that has been a big
very
barrier
ugly.
done.
Go
So
go look at the yellow and blue water, or yellow and green water, I should say, sitting in the copper mines in Arizona. It's very ugly process.
oh yeah. So like the biggest areas that actually mine are down in South America, and you've got other companies that are that own the land, like you said, OC. So it's like they want to make sure that they're still profitable, and that's been that big barrier. You wouldn't there was no way to know that we were going to have the world's largest copper demand we've ever seen with the explosion of AI.
It's true.
So
It's true. It's very true. Speaking of precious metals, let's go ahead and get into the charts. As the thumbnail said today, gold, silver, platinum making some all time highs. If you want to go ahead and pull up my screen, I'll go over silver here and platinum, and then have OC take a look at gold, or BC, whoever. I don't care. I want to talk about silver because I have a bunch of it. So, guys, silver was down here in this range. Just to refresh everyone's memory, because Piper, has to say I told you so. Um, Look at here. This is where I told everyone, if we this is our box. This is our buying box for silver. Back here in December, we were talking about it when I was on another cruise. Not in the Caribbean, in Europe. We got our bounce off of that level. We came up, we hit the golden pocket. Okay, came down, bounced off the 50, came up, fought with the platinum pocket here for support, gave us that level, and I called it out. 92.60, $92.67 was the area of support that we needed to hold. If we lost it, I thought we were going to head back down into the platinum pocket. Look at all the candle closes here, guys. Candle closes beautifully right there on that level, all the way across. Up, push, you had a nice gap, came down, closed the gap, moved into phase two. So this down here was a phase one extension of the fibs. This down here was the original extension of the fib, so we have it in phases, right? We're in phase two right now. Phase two on this golden pocket, which we're just crashing, just pushing right through glass ceilings, the 236, the 382, the 50's coming in at $115. That's going to be your 2.5, your 50% fib. I see us going easily into the golden pocket, guys. That's $120 silver. If it passes through that, platinum pockets coming in at 126 to 131. Looking at the higher time frames, let's go take a look here at the weekly. There we go. Let's take a look at the weekly here and see how we're looking on the oscillators. We do have a lot of overbought, but money flow and volume are still high. True 7 keeps clipping. We did get a divergence here, gave us a small pullback. That was the buy-in level. I'm not seeing a whole lot here telling me that this isn't going to that this is just going to continue on. What I'm actually seeing down here is that I'm watching for a 115 to 120 level, and then watch for these levels to come in as our support. If we find support in those again, and we see what we saw down here, where you have a solid line of support, or here where you had a solid line of support on these 4 hours and stuff like that, if you see that happening up here around these levels for that pullback of like the $115 level, that may be your repeat incident of another entry. So if you guys are still looking to get silver, that's what I would wait for. I don't see it crashing anytime soon. Silver is needed in all of the chips. It was just recently put onto the United States critical materials list. For the first time. Silver has been added to that list, and now silver is going to have this demand on top of the people that want physical silver in hand instead of contract for futures. You've also got a material industrial requirement for it, and there's a shortage of it globally at all the mints. So, yeah, I'm looking to see that silver continues to go up. That would be what I look for if you're going to get back into silver. Pass it over to one of you guys. Oh yeah, platinum, and then you guys can pull up gold. Platinum is getting a little flag here, $2,900 range. It rejected, hitting an all-time high. But guys, the um, the bulls the bulls are absorbing the selling pressure here. We're looking at this range, 28.43. I will get some fibs on here later in the week. I haven't really done a whole lot of watching on platinum, but now that it's in discovery zone, discovery phase, let's go ahead and just see. I'm going to pull a fib based trend extension here. Nope, not you. Trend based fib extension. There we go. Let's pull it high, high, and low. There we go. Um, yeah, golden pocket was rejection area. Rejection area, got it. Got a nice bounce on the 618, continued up. Um, yeah, I'm gonna have to say that this is going to $3,000 easily. Which would put us right around the 1382. So that's what I got on platinum. A little bit of weakness on the oscillator. Money flow is starting to come down. If we do pull back down, I would watch the $2,600 to $2,500 range as support. So that's what I got on platinum. I'll hand it over to you guys for gold. And I'm going to go ahead and pop out of here and let you guys wrap up the show because it is about 11 o'clock here and I've got a lunch reservation to hit. So out here on the cruise still. So day at sea, got a lot of reservations to go get through. So, and a casino's calling my name because I'm a degen at heart. So
Yeah. Well, have fun, sir.
awesome. Appreciate you guys. Make sure you smash the like button. Heading over to Crypto Blood here in just a minute. So they're gonna finish this out and head you guys to Crypto Blood. So you guys take care.
Have a great day, Piper.
Did you want to do gold or did you
Yeah,
want me
sure.
to do
Let's go
gold?
for it.
Let me get gold pulled up then. Yeah, I've been watching gold for quite a while now, and we were calling out some levels back here for a bounce at that golden pocket fib extension. We talked about a few areas to kind of keep your eye on the upside, blasted through all of them. Platinum pocket gone. We got through the one line on our fib the trend-based fib extensions here as well. We did make a little bit of a gap as we got above that one line here. So kind of keep your eye on that. If we do get a little bit of a pullback, which we get several times here, or it's more sideways action instead of a pullback, I'd kind of look for that to get filled. That's coming in about 5,000 on the bottom side and then 510 on that top side there. So kind of keep your eye on that area. We are a little bit toppy here on the daily, but that doesn't mean things can't continue to run. You pull this on out to that weekly chart, that's where you really see that things can continue here because we're just starting to get that pickup here on that prime oscillator. Switch from red to light red here. Money flow is really starting to increase. On the shorter term time frames, might get little sideways movements or slight pullbacks before we try to make our way up to that next real area that I was looking at on gold, $5,600. So that's what I got for more of a macro outlook on gold. What you got pulled up, OC?
Perfect. I got a gold trade that we were talking about earlier. We are basically getting at this zone of rejection where we need to be extremely careful. Not only that, we have an alert at 5,134, and we have multiple divergences in here in our oscillator. So be a little bit careful with this one. Most likely, we could be having a continuation and then a pullback. I would love to see this pullback come reality, because that way, not only we have non-parabolic movement, we have a break of that parabolic movement, which usually it's very, very, very good for gold, and we've seen that before, right? So we start going parabolic, and we have a little retracement, which it's the beginning of another parabolic movement with that retracement in mind. So hopefully we get it soon. And if not, we're going to be pushing way harder, basically having a way harder retracement once again. So I would say, let's go with calm. But, well, it's not up to me. It's up to the markets to see how much they want to push forward to it. So let me just get rid of this lines in here just for the upcoming show, so we have a cleaner chart to go through, and we're just gonna be leaving this one in there and getting rid of these ones right there. So that's it. Basically, this is what we're looking at. If you haven't taken any profits just yet, remember to move at least your stop to entry to protect a little bit of your capital. And if you're willing to, well, this will be a fantastic area to take at least, or somewhere around a 50%, 30% out of that trade. Uh, uh, okay, got it, got it, got it, got it. So sorry. I just can do one thing at a time, man. One
Yeah,
task guy.
I
So
know the feeling. So, well,
perfect. I want to bring up a couple of things right before we move out of the show. I want to bring up the hash ribbon. And on hash ribbon, I'm using on the daily Bitstamp. And very important, I have edited instead of using the regular into the blockchain hash ribbon, we're using the QuantDL chain hash rate. So I'm gonna push it in, and look at that. We had a buy signal in here, which played out very nicely to the dynamic reactor. And right now we are getting ready. We're getting the shaded part in here, looking for that possible next buying symptom here. Remember that when we start getting that red area, well, that's when we have capitulation, and we're looking for that out of the capitulation to go for a long. Very, very, very important. I'm not telling you that you should be buying, all right? And also you need to be aware that after those buy signals, which shouldn't be taken just as raw buy, we can still come back down for then shoot up. All right. So keep that in mind. This is not a you should buy on this area, but definitely keep an eye on the hash ribbon. Historically speaking, it's been a very nice called out for areas to enter. All right. So once again, looking at 82,271 for entry areas. Passing over to you, my friend.
well, that's pretty much all we have time for today. Oh, oh, wrong one. So I will have to get that fixed later. Well, that's pretty much all we have time for today. We got a redirect all set up for Crypto Blood. You are going live this evening, sir?
Yes, absolutely. I'm going live this evening, and we're gonna be trying to hunt a couple of trades, such as TIA, getting into those areas. We'll see if we can catch it, and looking for that bounce up if we're able to break through that 09.
All right, and I should be going live this afternoon on my channel. I'll have to get with Piper. I might have to change Good Morning Crypto time because working 4 to midnight and trying to do a show that early is not working out. So stay tuned for that one. Until next time, though, we will see you in the chats and in Crypto Blood's channel in just a second. Have a good day.
Have a great day, guys.
That's the rap. Chart stack data never lie. Piper led the mission, OC in the sky. Spaghetti on the screen, but the vision stay prime. Chart prime visual, signals on time. Alumni strong, we built from the grind. Lessons in the market that'll outlive time. Knowledge is profit, you know how we run. Till the next one, stay sharp, get it done.
You can't handle the truth. Emotional damage.
We'll see you at the next
Don't
one.
know what the fuck they're doing.
Morning market report out, 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 out. at the next one. Morning market report. We'll see you at the next one. Morning market report. Ow.
That was awesome, dude!
Hey, it didn't break.